Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are making Italian beef featuring a eye round roast that we recently got at Costco. It was on sale. So Italian beef is very commonly used in sandwiches, at sandwich shops. So I made this roast in the slow cooker yesterday, and then I let it sit in the fridge overnight to let it harden so it's easier to cut. And then I sliced it, well, Kevin sliced it into super thin pieces this morning. So there is a bit of an overnight process for best results. However, you don't have to wait overnight. You can serve it right away and cut it right away if you want. It just helps the beef firm up and become very easy to slice when you do it the overnight method. I think this is a great alternative to purchasing deli meat from the grocery store. Obviously, deli meat is convenient, but sometimes it contains other ingredients in it that we're trying to avoid. In general, if you're trying to avoid any sort of processed or packaged food, then this is a great recipe for you to go to. I love that this just creates a big batch that you can keep on hand. I only ended up slicing half of it, and what I'm probably gonna do is I'm going to freeze the other half and just take it out whenever I want to eat it.
For this recipe, I am using an eye round. This is a 4-pound piece from Costco. Eye round is a very lean cut. Sometimes it's also called stew meat or cubed steak, but you will want the individual large piece that you can slice up afterwards. If you have a larger piece and you don't want to cook the whole thing, you can definitely just portion out what you will be cooking for this recipe and save the remaining for other recipes such as beef stew. Just make sure you pat the meat really dry, clean off all excess blood and moisture. Now I have a 7-quart crock pot here, and I'm just placing the entire roast inside. I'm adding 2 cups of beef broth, just enough to cover 1 inch of the bottom of the pan, and I'm adding in a bay leaf, oregano, basil, parsley, onion salt, regular salt, garlic powder, and black pepper. The full recipe instructions will be available on the blog at justrealfood.com. Make sure you give this a good mix and make sure the sauce evenly coats the meat. Then place the lid on and turn on the crockpot to low and cook this for 8 hours. After 8 hours, the roast will look like this. And what I did here was I actually sealed it with some saran wrap and I placed it in the fridge for a couple hours to let it cool before slicing. This just allows for easier slicing and I highly recommend it. And I'm also saving the beef juices here, which you can put into a jar and use for other recipes, but we're also going to use it to reheat the beef. This makes a really nice broth if you also just want to strain it out and drink it. When slicing, make sure you use a very sharp knife and it should look like this. Slice these into about 1/4 inch slices and feel free to use the broth to reheat the roast beef before serving for about 5 minutes on the stovetop. This is how you would do it.
So this Italian roast beef is a great recipe to meal prep and have on hand. It's definitely a healthier alternative to purchasing deli meats at the grocery store. Even sometimes the cleaner brands of deli meat still have other ingredients in them that help them, last as long as it does. Of course, it is a little bit more time consuming to make deli meat this way, but I think if you do have the time and you do, see something like a sirloin tip roast on sale at your local grocery store, then this is something that you could definitely try. I think this is something that's great that you can serve to your kids, to the rest of your family. You can eat this with eggs, pretty versatile. You can eat it with a lot of stuff. If you ever get Italian beef at a sandwich shop, what they do is they slice the beef like this and then they reheat it in the jus before serving it to you. If you have a meat slicer, you can get the meat to basically be very paper thin, just like deli meat. I don't have a meat slicer, so we did have to use the knife, but that's another thing to consider if you have a meat slicer. So now I'm just gonna pour the jus on top of the beef. Alrighty, let's go in for the taste test. I am super excited. Just gonna go right in for this piece here. That's great flavor. So Aya Round is on the leaner side. It is a lean cut. That's why saving the juice is so important, so that you can heat it up in the juice so that the beef doesn't dry out. But nonetheless, this is a great recipe, very tasty. When you let it sit the overnight method, the flavors of the seasonings really penetrate the meat and just bring it to the next level, right, for the next day. Obviously, the longer that you can marinate a piece of meat for, the better flavor that it will have. This is a really good one. I highly recommend you guys try it. This will work with Aya Round, a top sirloin roast, any sort of lean cut of beef. I think this is a great recipe to go to if you see like a leaner cut of meat on sale at the grocery store and you want to have like a big batch of meat. So if you're serving this to other people, like your family or your friends or your spouse, and they're not doing carnivore, you can serve this with sandwiches. That's how it would be eaten traditionally. And then if you're doing carnivore, you can just enjoy the beef on its own. And if you're doing keto, you can add whatever vegetables or other sides to it, to your taste and liking. A lot of options, super flexible. If you liked my video today, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us spread the message and help as many people as possible. Let me know down in the comments below how you are celebrating World Carnivore Month. Until next time.